urges people that are spreading rumors through voice notes, a feature of the instant messaging service WhatsApp, to stop, as it can have devastating consequences on the victims. When shocking or surprising news breaks, it's not uncommon for wild rumors to spark, often when some questions go unanswered. This was the case on social media in the aftermath of 3 tragic deaths in recent weeks.
People seem not to be so concerned about the tragedies that are affecting the families, but they want to be the first ones to get access to the information and circulate it and make sure that it gets out in the public domain. And it seems to me that the incident with the young woman in St. George's and the one with the young woman yesterday, the information that was circulated was incorrect, which means that somebody intentionally circulated false information.
Ms. Scott says enough is enough, as it's the people closest to the deceased who suffer the most from potentially hurtful rumors.
Circulating how somebody died or that somebody died because of circumstances that are known to be untrue is not gossip. That's malicious. And, you know, as I said, it's not so much that they're sending this information around. They have no concern for the my concern is that there's no concern for the people who are suffering the losses. And, you know, it's unfair. You treat people how you want to be treated.
We asked Ms. Scott whether a person purposely engaging in the spread of misinformation is breaking the law.
You kind of cross the free speech line. I don't know how you can regulate social media in that way, you know, other than becoming like a communist country and just eliminating internet and Wi-Fi and those kind of things. But I don't know how you regulate it. And I think that the only thing that we can try to do is try to appeal to the moral consciousness of people.
And what would you like to say to people that may receive information, a voice note that they feel may or may not be true?
Don't forward it. If you get information, try to confirm that it is true.
Meanwhile, Education and Health Ministries published a joint statement responding to a rumor of a number of high school students at the Berkeley Institute being tested for sexually transmitted infections, specifically HIV. Education Minister Diallo Rabane said this rumor is not true and is being addressed by the school with students, parents and staff. While Minister of Health Kim Wilson added there have been no official reports to the Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit of any new infections in persons of high school age in many years. She adds our internal surveillance has also not shown an increase in cases. Ms. Scott implores the public to think first of others before pressing the send button.
We've just become such exhibitionists and voyeurs. We want to see into people's lives and we want to demonstrate everything that's going on in our lives. And there's no boundaries. And we've got to come within the boundaries and respect those boundaries. And so if you get information and it's not your family member and you don't know who it is, delete it. Don't pass it on. Think about the hurt that you're causing somebody else, and would you want your family to endure that same kind of hurt?
Furthermore, the Bermuda Police Service discourages the spread of unsubstantiated information, adding while such misinformation has minimal impact on police investigations, the unnecessary distress and anguish it causes the families and friends of those featured in the messages is unacceptable. They appeal to anyone who knows the identity of the person circulating these offensive voice notes to call the Vulnerable Persons Unit on 295-0011. The island senior magistrate tonight expressing alarm over what he deems a worrying trend as a result of mental health problems affecting our community. Speaking in his capacity as coroner, senior magistrate Juan Wolf told our Mike Sharp there is cause for real concern.
When asked what cases are becoming more prevalent here, one would probably say debt, traffic offenses, or crime. But Senior Magistrate Juan Wolf shocked me when he said attempted suicide.
I'm speaking from the perspective of the court. And it's unfortunate, but you know things have gone wrong or bad when they come into the court system. So I'm speaking about the court perspective, the trends that we see in the courtroom. One of the things which has disturbed me, probably for about the last 6 months to a year, is not necessarily a prevalence, but sort of a growing occurrence of persons presenting before the courts with mental health issues, particularly those who have suicidal ideations, not just sort of thinking about suicide, but some have actually attempted suicide.
But is this with adults, teenagers, or both?
More disturbingly, are those individuals, some of them are children. For a plethora of reasons, they have decided that the way to deal with their issues, to deal with their problems, is to unfortunately take their life. And I think that there is a growing sense within our various communities that the way to resolve your issues is unfortunately to do yourself some harm.
The senior magistrate can back up his comments because he is also a coroner.
I speak as well from the perspective as coroner. Unfortunately, as coroner, every sudden death that takes place, I'm made aware of it and the circumstance of that sudden death the day after or within hours of it taking place. So it's a rather sort of it's not a very good circumstance I like to see every morning when I come into work. And seeing some of the circumstances of how people come to their death is disturbing. Mm-hmm. So I think that we need, as a community, to get to grips with why our kids find themselves in a position where either one, they are thinking about committing suicide in a way to resolve whatever issues or problems they may have.
Magistrate Wolf views social media contributing to depression and suicide.
Social media is a huge problem. I've always said that where the kids are learning in the educational system, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, there's a whole slew of other types of education that they're getting. And their education from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, sometimes is far more persuasive than what they learn in the classroom. It's a very sort of microwave type of way of dealing with their issues. And so while social media can be good in some sense, there is some real problems as well, particularly when it comes to things like cyberbullying, sexting is a huge problem, and the social issues that kind of flow from that.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
At Argos, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
You can count on us.
Save $1.30 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.59 per pound. Fresh blueberries, just $4.49 each, saving you $3.50. Hellman's mayonnaise, hot price, just $5.99 for a 30-ounce jar. Hot price on American flatbread pizza, only $7.99 for an 8.5-ounce package. Save $1.10 on Bob's Red Mill gluten-free oatmeal, only $1.79 for a 2.36-ounce package. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
The year-end clearance sale is now on at Bermuda Motors. Cargo ships bringing our 2019 models will be arriving soon. To make room, we're offering the lowest prices of the year on these models. Ford Figo, our hatchback with cutting-edge technology. Ford EcoSport, big on comfort, safety, and power. Toyota Avenza, the perfect balance of style and function. Toyota Prius C, our fuel-efficient 5-door hybrid. So hurry, prices are available until the end of the year or while our inventory lasts at Bermuda Motors.
Thanks for staying with us. The opposition leader, Craig Cannonier, has come to the defense of Nick Kemp, his shadow minister of finance, who criticized government for not having a plan to deal with the implications of new legislation aimed at cracking down on international companies. That legislation is known as the Economic Substance Act and was demanded by the European Union, which wants to ensure all international companies in Bermuda have a physical presence, among other requirements. Finance Minister Curtis Dickinson has hit back at Senator Kemp, accusing him of playing politics by publicly calling for the government's game plan. But Mr. Cannonier today told Tarai Trott this is not about politics, but about the government providing public reassurance to businesses.
It was Shadow Finance Minister Nick Kemp who first sounded the alarm about the implications on the island's economy by the Economic Substance Act, which the European Union wanted to see in place to address its concerns about international companies here avoiding taxes over there. Senator Kemp's public call for government's plan prompted a terse rebuke from the new finance minister, Curtis Dickinson, who accused him of breaking the tradition of the opposition backing the government on matters of international business and accused him of playing politics with the issue. But opposition leader Craig Cannonier disagrees with the Minister of Finance. He is adamant that the government must do more to quell the concerns of international companies.
Right now, what we are looking for and what we were asking for in many of the meetings that we had with the minister is what's the plan going forward? How do we now tell Bermuda that we are looking at some of the opportunities that lie from this bill and how Bermudans can take advantage of it, and what government should be doing as far as creating an atmosphere or a fertile ground that allows for us to take advantage of this bill that has been put through that on surface looks like it's going to be really tough on the Bermuda economy.
Mr. Cannonier insists his team has always worked with the government on bipartisan matters as the former OBA government dealt with the matter during its tenure. Now that the economic substance legislation has been passed by Parliament, it now goes to the European Union in Brussels to review it and decide whether or not it will give its approval and take the island out of its crosshairs. Mr. Cannonier believes government must work very hard to ensure Bermuda benefits as a result of the EU requirements.
This may affect certain businesses. How do we now get those businesses who do not have a substantial presence or boots people working here, how do we incentivize them to put boots on the ground, create jobs, create opportunities for Bermudians and foreigners?
Elsewhere, the OBA leader questioning the whereabouts of Premier David Burt, whom he feels should be more vocal about various issues facing the economy.
What I was alluding to here is that we know that we have some major challenges with our economy. That is a fact been known for the last 7 months. The lagging of retail, GDP is down. We also know that we have health cost challenges in Bermuda. Our health cost, how are we going to tackle these things? We also know that immigration is a challenge, and we need to see immigration policy put in place that's going to help bring more Bermudians here. We have not heard from the Premier as to how we're going to address these things. It's okay to have a vision, Tarai. It's okay to have an idea, but it takes real leadership then to act on these things.
Despite being promised a response from the government to Mr. Cannonier's remarks, we did not receive one as of news time. Now let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters to see what's in store for us this evening and the rest of the week.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and we have a cold front on the way, and that is going to bring some changes. I'm sure you felt the wind that has been picking up today. We could have gale force winds as we head into the overnight hours here, so if you have anything that could easily blow away from your yard, maybe a trash can, you'll want to make sure that you can bring that somewhere that it's not going to end up in the neighbor's yard by tomorrow morning. Here's our frontal boundary that's making progress from our north and west, and this is going to help kick up some more moisture here on the island. And hopefully you at least enjoyed the temperatures today. We finally made it back into the low 70s, and just a little nugget for you, temperatures are actually running about 2.7 degrees above normal for the month of January. So we've been a bit more on the milder side, so to say, with temperatures in the 70s. And that's exactly where we are right now across the island. Temperatures in the low 70s, our humidity right around 73%, but the winds, they are whipping. We have winds out of the southwest anywhere from 22 to 26 knots, so we will call it windy as we continue into this evening and into the overnight hours as well. And of course, the wind will make for some problems. If by any chance you're heading out in the water, I wouldn't advise it. We do have waves inside the reef 2 to 4 feet, and look how choppy it is outside the reef, between 9 and 13 feet. So you know, we've got some warnings out there that we need to tell you about through tonight. A gale warning, so the winds will be strong at times. We even have a thunderstorm advisory from the Bermuda Weather Service, so heads up if you're going to be out and about late tonight. We could have a few rumbles of thunder, and then a small craft warning tonight through Friday morning. So those choppy conditions will continue out there on the water. So heads up, we've got your tidal times right here for you. High tide coming in just before 11 o'clock tonight, and then our low tide coming in after 4:30 a.m. on your Thursday. So this week is just zipping on by here. For tonight, 63 degrees for your overnight low. Rather cloudy. Yes, it will be windy with gale force winds possible, and we'll stay on the windy side as we take you into tomorrow with some showers around. Not a whole lot of sunshine to offer for you here. So here's our front that's going to be making progress as we continue into the overnight hours and also into tomorrow as well. Even as the front leaves, it's still going to be rather windy, so it's not just windy tonight. That'll also be the case as we head into Thursday as well. Look at some of the current conditions right now. Jamaica, Barbados, and also Trinidad. We do have some showers around, temperatures sitting in the 80s. If you're doing any traveling, maybe you're heading back home toward the East Coast, New York City, chilly 38 degrees. Upper 30s there in Boston. Not quite that cold here at home, but we will see the change in our temperatures, dropping back into the 60s Thursday and Friday with some showers. The weekend looks good, but we could see some rain Sunday night into Monday.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
At the Bermuda Festival, there's something for everyone in 2019. From international acts, the Manhattan Transfer and Shaka Khan, to Bermudians Heather Nova and Rebecca Falkenberry. Our plays include A Midsummer Night's Dream, Masterclass, and Nina Simone for Women. There's music for all, jazz, rock, classical, and even a cappella. And with modern dance and family entertainment, the list is complete. For tickets, visit ptix or bermudafestival.org. Celebrating the empowerment of women. She is art. Meet Cal. Cal is a consumer. Just a year ago, Cal didn't know much about industry regulation or why it even mattered. Then Cal went to a town hall meeting, read the flyer sent to his house, and looked at the regulatory authority's new website. He even did some research on his own. Now he can see how regulating electricity protects consumers and ensures our power supply is safe, reliable, and sustainable. And he knows more about the regulations that improve the overall service of Bermuda's phone, internet, and cable companies. And there's more to look forward to. In 2019, the authority will share information on important matters like the cost of electricity, consumer protection regulations, and net neutrality, also known as open internet. You too can start learning today at the authority's website and stay up to date with all that we're doing on our Facebook page. For 2019, the Regulatory Authority wishes you a safe, happy, and well-informed year.
Teen depression strikes 1 out of 8 teenagers, and prolonged depression could be disastrous, according to the Family Center. The executive director, Martha Dismond, says she's not surprised at what youngsters are doing to cope with depression and that keeping a careful eye on our children must not be taken lightly.
Family Center is finding itself dealing with a lot of issues with young people. And we focus on young people, so we want to give our condolences to the family of the young person that recently passed. We're not surprised at this kind of behavior, unfortunately, because we can see lots of teenagers having difficulty as a result of the stressors that we know are out there, you know, peer pressure, the social media that we've talked about, and someone being behind the screen and you not knowing who it is, but yet you are feeling the effect of negative behavior. So all of these pressures, family situations, financial problems for parents, all of these pressures impact young people because they really are unaware of, they have their own pressures. Mm-hmm. And so if your family is having challenges and then they're having challenges in terms of peer pressure, what we find are things that we should be concerned about. And so our efforts today is to remind parents to keep a close eye, particularly on adolescents, because it's a very stressful time for them.
And students and faculty at the Berkeley Institute mourning the loss of one of their students, 15-year-old Kiara Paiva. The sudden death has, quote, deeply affected the Berkeley community. Ms. Paiva was found in an unresponsive state in her Hamilton Parish residence Monday afternoon and was later pronounced dead at hospital. The Berkeley Institute's governing body said in a press release, "We note that it has had a profound effect on the Berkeley community." In response, they say several actions have been taken to support our students and faculty, included calling on school counselors and additional counseling resources from the Department of Education and the wider community. In honor of Ms. Paiva, there was a moment of silence. The school flag was lowered to fly at half-mast and a prayer circle was formed in front of the school. The Board of Governors expresses its sincere condolences to the family of their student and asks that the community respect their time of mourning. Still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
When it's happening now, you can't beat the immediacy of radio.
Chance to hear the thoughts of acclaimed author.
No matter where you are.
I'm Darlene Livingston with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
When events are spectacular, television is by far the best media platform.
Why now this particular topic?
For sports action, well, need we say more? Broadcast reporters put elected officials on the spot, keeping them honest and accountable to voters. And they can explain things in ways we all understand.
Climbs up to 12.5%.
Broadcast news is important. We're your eyes and ears on the ground. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. In good times and bad. Radio's your constant companion.
On the big station, Power 95.
And TV news is the news.
Based on what you're seeing.
And Bermuda Broadcasting is your station. Sport now, and Bermuda Olympic hopeful returns to action in Australia. Kamal Levrock lights up the scoreboard with his bat, and a women's football symposium to be held this weekend. Earl Basin has the details and much more in tonight's sports report.
Raquel Evans was back on the waters in Australia competing in the 2019 Australian Fin National Championships. Evans had another mixed day as he came off the waters down 2 places from his starting 12th position on day 1, as he now has 55 points after 4 races. Evans would finish the first race of the day in the third of the series in 15th place, and then he would cross the line 16th in the second race of the day. Kamal Levrock and his Walkerville Cricket Club teammates went down by 2 wickets to Firelanders Park in their City Holding Smash 2020 Division 1 match at the Adelaide Turf Cricket Grounds. Walkerville batted first and scored 170 for 3 in their 20 overs, with Levrock leading the way with a knock of 85 off of 50 deliveries. He hit 4 fours and 6 sixes. In reply, Firelanders Park Cricket Club scored 171 for 8. They were awarded 10 penalty runs as Walkerville Cricket Club failed to bowl their overs in the required time. Levrock had figures of 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 29. The Bermuda Football Association will host its inaugural Women's Football Symposium during the weekend for girls and women's empowerment in football. Chairperson of the Bermuda Football Association Women's Committee, Sharice Bean, says who the special guest is and what the aim of the symposium is for.
Yes, we have a special guest, Karina LeBlanc. She is CONCACAF's new head of women's football. She is a former Canadian player. She's won an Olympic medal, and you can it's going to be a panel discussion on our story. We want to put out there what the actual story is for Bermuda Football Association and with women's football. And we have a story to tell that some people don't know. A lot of the youngsters that come here now on Saturdays, is our second year of having a girls' league. They didn't realize that, there was women's football before they started. And so we have a story of like an Alicia Zul, who with her father decided, we need to have some women's football, and her going around and getting girls. We go back to some of the original teams, Somerset Terminators, the Rude Girls. We started to even think about what were the original names of the first teams before they came under the BFA. And the story is so rich. We have people that have been away to school. People don't know about these. And, they're walking around the island and people don't realize that they were part of the game.
Dante Levrock has began his preseason training with his new team, Sligo, in Ireland, and is happy to be back at work.
It's a great feeling being back, touching the ball, putting in the hard work. It was a very good first day, a lot of hard work, but, preseason, that's what's to be expected. Enjoying my time here in Ireland. I've been welcomed in by the players and the staff. Everyone's made me feel at home, and it's a footballing town, so I just feel the atmosphere and the environment. Very professional over here, and I'm looking forward to having a very good season, a successful season with Sligo.
The MTM Open Tennis Championships got underway yesterday at the Fairmont Southampton Tennis Courts. Tournament number 1 seed Gavin Manders eased his way into the second round with a straight set 6-love, 6-love victory over Tyler Trott, while number 2 seed Javon Ritter won his match 6-2, 6-love over Evan Halliger. Neil Tolson needed 3 sets to defeat Tariq Simons 6-3, 5-7, 6-4. Kayla Cross won her match in straight sets 6-2, 6-1 over Lorenzo Durant Lucarni, while Jackie Lambert defeated Mark Bell in straight sets 6-4, 6-4. David Thomas retired in his match with Christopher Weeks while leading 1-love in the third set of the match that was tied at 1-1. Andrew Painter defeated Mike Maguire but needed 3 sets to do so 6-7, 7-6, 10-6, and Yves Doyon won his match against David Leader 6-4, 2-6, 7-6. Sejan Harvey and Malik Joe represented St. Johnsbury Academy during the Vermont Indoor Track Association's 4th track meet of the season. Both competed in the men's Division 1. Harvey would win the 600-meter race when he was clocked at 1:29.35. Joe competed in the 1,000-meter race, finished 5th, clocking a time of 2:57.15. Harvey would lead off and Joe would run the third leg for the St. Johnsbury 4x400-meter relay team that clocked a winning time of 3:41.04. In the 4x800-meter relay, Harvey ran the third leg and Joe ran the anchor leg for the St. Johnsbury team that would cross the line first in a time of 8:56.79. In commercial bowling league action, it saw BTC defeat the Spinners 4-0. The Pin Pushers defeated the BPS Blue Lanterns 3-1, while the Superstars got by Secret Weapons 3-1. BLDC 10-Pin Mafia defeated Sweet Life 3-1, with We Do It Big defeating Cool Running 3-1. The match between the Braves and the Sunsets would end 2-2. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. And the Bermuda Broadcasting family tonight mourning the death of former cameraman Calvin Lynch. Cal will be remembered as an avid motocross, J24 sailboat and powerboat racer. He leaves to mourn his wife Angela and 2 daughters. Once again, condolences from Bermuda Broadcasting. And that's our program for this evening. Thanks for watching, and I'm Jasmine Patterson. Hope to see you all back here tomorrow at the same time. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.